Respect. It's something that is expected of society and expected of those around us. But it has disappeared over the last few decades, where people just don't respect others' ideas, other people's opinions, and especially their own property and their own lives. And the story that illustrates this growing problem is that of Thomas Wanta, who was in prison for killing a man at his son's hockey practice. He had complained about some aggressive behavior that was on the field, and him and another parent exchanged words, and then he beat the man. And this is just a sad example of how this person had lacked respect for the society around him, and especially for that other person. A poll by Deborah Nerville, who wrote the book The Power of Respect, says that 79% of people says that lack of respect is a serious problem. And 60% of people say that disrespectful and selfish behavior is growing and increasing. Also, 88% of people consistently encounter rude people. And this is just in the world around us. We're seeing that over half of us are somehow experiencing the results of disrespect. If we think about it, the news, what does it have on there? Politics, violence, crime. Those are all forms of how people are disrespecting others. Whether it's their words, whether it's their actions, or whether it's just lack of respect for the society around them and for those in authority. Dr. Sigmund, a fellow of the Royal Society of Medicine, says nursery-age children are becoming increasingly violent and disrespectful towards their teachers, and parent battering is on the rise, and the number of policemen attacked by children is soaring. We see that the lack of respect is leading to more and more violence. And we see this in the world around us. We see huge cities where the crime rate is just super high. And it is all coming from the basic where people just don't have respect for others. If they had respect, this wouldn't be a problem in the society. We would all be working together instead of degrading and hurting other people. We see this starting at a younger and younger age too. Children in elementary school are coming home with words that are disrespectful. They are teasing and making fun of other children that are of their age, and they are not respecting those in authority, their teachers, their staff, and also their parents. And this leads to more and more a sense of entitlement, that these children, they feel like they deserve this or that in their lives, where in reality, they just need to use more manners and politeness. So how do we solve this problem? How do we make the society more respectful? Well, it all starts in the home. Jeanette Lehman said in her article entitled, "Do Your Kids Respect You?" Understanding that using manners, just like a simple "excuse me" or "thank you," is a form of empathy. It teaches your kids to respect others and acknowledge their impact on other people. When you think about it, disrespectful behavior is the opposite and negative side of being empathetic and having good manners. So simple manners, like thank you, like please, like excuse me, and acknowledging other people for what they do in our lives is a form of respect. And that's where it can really start. For young children who are learning to speak and who are learning to interact with other people, they need to understand that saying please and thank you is just as important as asking the question. Nicole Kakavo-Kier, in an article that she wrote in the Parents magazine, says, "Let them know that it is never an option to lash out in disrespectful behavior. If there is a problem, address it and help them resolve it in an appropriate manner. Giving your child a positive way to express their emotion lets him know that while it is natural to feel anger or frustration from time to time, that it doesn't have to insult others and scream and shout." And so this is just another example of how it is okay to feel disrespectful, or it is okay to feel anger or frustrated, but it is not okay to lash that out in disrespect to others. We also have to remember that we need to respect others' ideas and opinions. Doesn't mean we have to agree with them, but respecting them is a great form of empathy towards others, and it lets them know that we are people that we can listen to and talk to without lashing back negative comments or rude and disrespectful ideas. So what would this look like in the world around us? First of all, there'd be less fights. In the home, if the parents are respecting each other, the children will see that. And because the children will see that, they will respect their parents. This also happens at school. If children are learning respect in the home, they're going to respect their teachers, they're going to respect their fellow classmates, however young they are. They will learn that it is a necessity to have manners, to say please and thank you, to say I'm sorry, and to help somebody else. And because of this, it will bring a brighter future to the society around us, because these children are learning to respect others, instead of feeling entitled or deserved of others' attention or others' ideas that they're not as good as your own. And because of that, there'll be less crime. The society will be better because they are respecting those in authority, policemen. They will respect laws, and all those who work to make a better society. And respecting others and not acting violently or disrespectfully is a great form of character, and it will greatly affect everybody's lives around them, those that they are in contact with, and their lives personally. Dr. Ingrid Schweiger, who wrote the book Self-Esteem for Life, says that when kids say thank you after something is given to them, they acknowledge that there is a mutual exchange going on, a give and take. By going through the motions, they eventually learn not to expect the world on a silver platter. So my invitation to each and every one of you today is to respect those around you, to respect them by using manners, and by acknowledging their ideas, but not degrading them because of them. Also, you need to teach your children at a younger and younger age to use those manners, and to not let them lash out and yell and scream because they didn't get what they wanted. You need to teach them that it is respectful to say, I'm sorry, and to ask them politely when they need things. And as we do this, we will see a much better society. People will be more willing to listen to others, and there will be less crime and violence around us. Thank you.